Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is August the 5th, 2019. Strong hand! Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Be a unique beast. Your home for Bitcoin insider information. There are no fancy sets or graphics here. This is the 5-digit realm we're living, baby. So check out all the links below. Everything I talk about in this video is linked to below. Of course, if you want the full Bitcoin Meister experience, definitely follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, TechBalt. And of course, sportsmeister.com to get all my podcasts. And I linked to below a specific podcast that came out only a few hours ago that I really liked. I had fun doing it. And again, there's no video version of it, only audio. It's about the hope that this world, there's so many people who get caught up in this hopeless narrative. And man, there is so much hope out there. There is so much potential out there. And it's in this Bitcoin overlay where you get the maximum hope and the maximum potential, and you get to live the technology, baby. So that is what my, if you want more of that, check out sportsmeister.com. Check out the link below to the audio podcast. So today was an interesting day. Throughout the history of Bitcoin, and we've been through this many times, people have discussed what role does China play in all of this? And today they devalued their currency. And the price of Bitcoin in terms of yuan and dollars, it went up quite a bit. And one would theorize, well, first of all, did your magical chart predict that this would happen? No, of course. A magical chart doesn't predict when the central authorities in China decide to devalue their currency and scare the living bleep out of their people into buying Bitcoin. Now, the real question is in the end of the day, how many people from China really now are saying, okay, I got to find a way to get my yuan into Bitcoin now, okay? They've just devalued my currency. They can do this again, obviously. So let's read I linked to some articles about it. And then I have a theory on a price, a dollar price that you should look at to see. It might reveal how many people who are in the yuan ecosystem are really trying to get out of it. But let's China's currency weakened past the psychologically important point of 7 to the American dollar for the first time in more than a decade. Now, again, remember that term, psychologically important, because a lot of these numbers, there's a lot of psychological importance behind some numbers that, when we get into the 5-digit realm, that's psychologically important. Once people get used to that in their minds, it won't return to the 4-digit realm. But okay, so yeah, it's been more than a decade, and a move that reflects the growing severity of the trade war with the United States, and that could indicate Beijing's growing desire to find ways to retaliate against President Trump. The yuan traded in mainland China. Okay, they give the prices. The last time China's currency was weaker than 7 to the US dollar was in 2008 as the financial crisis mounted. So some people saw China do this, and they're like, this is the first time since the financial crisis, better buy Bitcoin. And those people might have never had yuan at all. Again, this is where the big boys play, okay? This is a major financial mechanism, financial instrument, Bitcoin. And when global events happen, there are speculators who want to take advantage of the situation and say, and try to read what's going to happen next. Well, if this happened, the last time this happened, there was a major financial collapse, not collapse, because again, the world continued, but major financial crisis, should we say. And so some are worrying that we're going to have another major financial crisis, thus buy Bitcoin. So are there really a bunch of Chinese now? They're saying, oh, my yuan is more worthless than it was before. I better buy? Is it real, or is it just a bunch of Western speculators jumping into Bitcoin, trying to go to safety in a time where they think financial markets aren't going to be very safe? Well, how about this for you? Remember this number, $14,183. That is the equivalent, 14,183 American dollars is the equivalent of 100,000 yuan. One would think if there were a lot of Chinese people that really are buying the yuan, a lot of people in the Chinese ecosystem that really now have decided they want Bitcoin. Excuse me, they're using their yuan to buy Bitcoin. That they'll start getting a little freaked out once they get to that 6-digit Chinese yuan realm. So again, 100,000 Chinese yuan equals $14,183. See, I mean, for all you fiat freaks, see if Bitcoin gets up to like $14,183 and then stops, or goes over it and then goes completely buck wild at that point. It's an important number to remember. 100,000 Chinese yuan equals 14,183. But yeah, keep on doing that trade war, Trump and China. I love it, man. I love it. It wakes people up to Bitcoin. First of all, it reminds us how Trump is blatantly saying in his tweets that he wants to manipulate the dollar, just like if the Chinese can manipulate the dollar, then he wants to manipulate. If the Chinese can manipulate their currency, he wants to be able to manipulate his currency, because he knows that the fiat game is rigged. That game is rigged, but people love the welfare dollar, and so they like to play a rigged game. Sometimes rigged games can be fun. I mean, people like, but again, we know that the Bitcoin game, this game is not rigged. Pound that like button, and maybe all these trade wars are going to hopefully wake more and more people up to Bitcoin. But keep it. Hey, and I want the Chinese people to wake up and say, you know what, I got to find a way to turn these yuan into Bitcoin. And then they start getting a little freaked out when it gets up to 100,000 yuan. Bitcoin to 100,000 yuan. Go for it. All right. Here is now we talked a little bit about traditional financial, and again, 14,183 is your magical number. All right. So there's a guy named Dan Tapiero, and I was sent this interview. I haven't watched the entire thing yet, but this is a guy from traditional financial markets. It is a great interview. It shows you how traditional finance guys think and why they did not jump right into Bitcoin right away. Okay, they did. Andy Hoffman has talked about the Hoffman line about Bitcoin being worth $100 billion market cap, and this guy straight up says that he was laughing at Bitcoin, and his friend and his people were laughing at Bitcoin when it was a minor. He didn't care at all when it had a very small market cap. It was a joke. It was a total joke. So there is something to when something like Bitcoin reaches a nice round big number serious market capitalization. But I mean, this dude straight up says, I know I'm not the type of guy that's going to buy something. When it was $200 or whatever, it was worth it. The market cap was hardly anything. It didn't interest me at all. Didn't take it seriously at all. And he says that guys like him, they don't understand all the and no one understands all the tech behind it, and that can turn a lot of people off. But he says he did finally grasp it is a unique invention. It is an invention, a unique invention. And if a private company produced this unique invention, that private company would be worth right now more than what Bitcoin is valued at right now. So again, he obviously feels that Bitcoin is undervalued right now. So it's a good video. It's a very good video. Very, very good video. I never heard of the dude before, so I'm not putting him on a pedestal. It really gives insight into traditional financial guys' minds, and that they are coming. They are coming for this thing. I mean, you could. This dude he's into it now, and his buddies are just coming around the corner. So again, you should be proud that you got in before this guy got in, and if you haven't gotten in yet, be proud that you got in before his buddies got in. Now, if you wait until his buddies get in, well, it's gonna be more money. It's gonna cost you more dollars or yuan or whatever you got laying around there. All right, pound that like button. Remember, follow me on Twitter, TECHBALT. Litecoin halving day was today. Crickets. Okay, so again, Bitcoin went up a lot in terms of fiat again today. So, and this has been going on a lot with Bitcoin since the beginning of the year. So if miners have been hoarding their Litecoin because they're not going to be able to mine as much Litecoin anymore, we don't know, because Litecoin's been going up because Bitcoin's been going up, clearly. So it's an interesting exercise, this whole run up to the Litecoin halving. And it shows you what happens with altcoin halvings in a Bitcoin denominated world. Okay, because they're going to be able to. Bcash is going to have a halving. BGold's going to have a halving. What's it all mean, though, in the end of the day, when you have to value your wealth in Bitcoin? And again, there have been a few times along the journey that Litecoin has gone up faster than Bitcoin. Can you predict that when that's going to happen? Do you have any logical way of predicting that? It's just a gamble. It's a clear gamble. Why even care? Why even care? Why not just stick with the rock, with the Bitcoin, and get your Bitcoin crypto dividends? Again, if you hold Bitcoin properly, there are forks, there are airdrops that you get interest on your Bitcoin by just holding it on your Trezor, controlling your private key, whatever you do, and you get interest on your Bitcoin. So again, another reason why you don't even want to mess with these altcoins going back and forth, trying to time when they're going to pump more than Bitcoin and when their halvings, or if it really relies on their halvings or not, or if they even have halvings, which most of them do not have. Okay. That's right. Okay, so let's talk about, another reason that Matt Odell brought this up, actually. Bitcoin, and again, gambling is for fools, basically. And again, I know some of you don't consider altcoin speculation pure gambling. How about this? I'll be nice about it. Pure gambling is for fools. I mean, it's giving the lottery is for fools. It's like, oh, I want to give the government more money. That's a C-U-C-K right there. C-U-C-K. But whatever, people are going to do, 80%ers are going to do what they're going to do. Again, but you have when you're in cryptocurrency, why even get into a corner of cryptocurrency where you could be considered to be a gambler? Why get in? Again, gambling is, the house always wins. All right, so and again, Bitcoin is the rock. It is the world reserve cryptocurrency. So is the Bitcoin halving priced in yet? Well, Matt Odell points out that in the current environment, in the current cryptocurrency market environment, that the market participants value Ripple at $14 billion. The Ripple market cap is $14 billion. And the BSV, this is my observation, BSV market cap is valued at $2.7 billion, a market cap. So this is how knowledgeable the current market players are, okay? It's clearly made up of many clueless participants in the cryptocurrency market. So with all of that in mind, how would the Bitcoin halving be priced in when they have no clue, when they're valuing Ripple at such a number, and when they're valuing BSV, which just split in three for a little while? I mean, I'm not even talking about, which is BSV just had some technical issue, and it didn't affect the price at all, because the people who buy BSV, they don't care about that kind of stuff at all. I mean, it's all about the ego of of Jim Jones. I mean, they like that kind of thing. So yeah, in this space, in the cryptocurrency space, we got to take into consideration all players in the market. There are players out there who buy things because of cult leaders. So with that in mind, how can you say that the majority of a substantial number of market participants know about the Bitcoin halving and realize what's going to happen in May of 2020? I mean, how can you logically say, when taking into consideration how illogical and silly this entire market is. Because again, it is the entire space. You have to take into account the entire space. And again, there are plenty of people that are in the Bitcoin that have no idea what's going on either. I mean, they're into it for all sorts of wacky reasons also. They don't. So yeah, it's not priced in yet. It's not priced in yet. People had to be slapped in the face and have a big sign from the mainstream media saying there's something coming up called the Bitcoin halving. The new Bitcoins produced will be cut in half. I mean, then I know. I mean, I can scream it to the rooftops. They're not going to believe it. They're going to be asking me about Ripple and BSV. Okay. And again, it just shows you what type of insider information you have when you're not, you know what BSV and Ripple are, and you know what the Bitcoin halving is. All right. Finally, let's see if there's anybody in the super. I forgot to say, type in a Bitcoin Meister or do a super chat if you have a question. Okay. Johnny NY said he's always excited to see my show live. That's cool, man. I'm glad you like seeing the shows live. There's really no difference between seeing them. Actually, it's better to watch them taped because you can play them at 2x and it's much more efficient. Much more efficient. All right. Hang on. Just had to make sure. All right. And finally, the Stefan Livera, who has been on this show before a few times, been on This Week in Bitcoin show. Best guest in the space. Check that out at techbalt.com. And remember, disruptmeister.com, all of my almost 1,400 shows that I've participated in on this channel, and a few others are there at disruptmeister.com. But Stefan Livera says, retweet his tweet, if you want to see Saifedean on Joe Rogan. And I retweeted it because I think that would be a great guest for Joe Rogan. They've had Andreas Antonopoulos on there in the past, but let's get these guys on there again now. And obviously Saifedean hasn't been on before. And again, we want mainstreamers, 80%ers to wake up to Bitcoin. We do. It's good. Maybe they'll turn into some 20%ers. The free marketing is great. Bitcoin doesn't have a marketing team, so it relies on dudes like Joe Rogan, getting some interesting guests on their show. So I retweeted it. You can retweet it also. It is linked to below. All right, everyone. I am Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister, a new show here every single freaking day. That is conviction. That is my system, the strong hand Bitcoin conviction system. Every day, it pays off, baby. It is awesome. Create a system for yourself, a strong hand system. Pound that like button, bang that bell button, disruptmeister.com. Click on those squares. If you're watching this tape to see some of my recent shows, I will say hi to you dudes in the chat right now. See you later.